Cameraman here. After a whole week of waiting for episode 63, it's finally out, and it was actually insane and was worth the wait. This episode is literally the definition of crazy because of all the things that happened. We finally got to see Plunger Cameraman come back. There is a new Speakerman who seems very powerful. And did you spot the secret agent? There are so many things to talk about in this episode, it's actually insane. This was the longest episode so far if you don't count episode 57 as a full episode, because episode 57 was published as 2 parts, making them each 1-minute episodes. But even if you do count episode 57 as 1 episode, this was the second longest episode so far. With that being said, episode 63 is just the beginning of this new season. And with the ending that we've gotten in this episode, it seems like the remaining episodes in this season are going to be huge because it seems like everyone is getting back together again after episode 57 and getting ready to fight G-Man and scientist SKIBIDI Toilet. But before we get into analyzing the episode, make sure to like and subscribe if you want to support the channel and want to see more analysis and SKIBIDI Toilet news videos. Anyways, here we go. The episode starts with us, the POV cameraman, in the middle of fighting. We are using some sort of rocket launcher turret shooting the SKIBIDI toilets that are trying to invade the small base. And with our perfect aim, we are doing a good job until a helicopter rocket launcher SKIBIDI toilets come and shoot us. These are the same helicopter SKIBIDI toilets that we saw in the second leak that came out a day ago. But before we continue, it looks like the surroundings of this place has been trashed a lot. From the looks of it, it happened lately because the SKIBIDI toilets that were destroyed are all gray toilets, and we all know that gray toilets are the upgraded normal toilets. Also, if we look at the sky, it's very clear, and this indicates that this place hasn't been conquered yet because every city that has been conquered by the SKIBIDI toilets had such bad air quality that the sky was yellowish looking, just like how it looked like in episode 58 in London. We can also see another SKIBIDI car for the second time in the series after episode 61 in the background, but it seems like it had the same fate as the first one. Being dead, but unlike the SKIBIDI car, the POV cameraman doesn't die from the explosion. This explosion causes heavy damage, making our camera glitchy for a couple seconds. Normally, normal cameramen die from explosions like this very easily. So this leaves us 2 options. Either the defense stat of cameramen has gotten higher enough to endure basic explosives, or the POV cameraman is not some ordinary cameraman. Right after the explosion, we see a big black smoke, but it isn't really clear if this smoke is from the explosions or SKIBIDI toilets teleporting here to invade the place. While our vision is getting fixed, we see a cameraman running away from the black smoke, and suddenly a new SKIBIDI toilet appears, and it's the one we saw in the first leak from episode 63. And we see him do the wildest thing ever. The goddamn SKIBIDI toilet literally chops up the poor cameraman and beheads him. His arms are actually really fast for a SKIBIDI toilet because, as you might know, other than a few toilets, most of the toilets aren't that fast when it comes to movement. But this guy seems like he was trained by Bruce Lee himself. This seems very possible because this SKIBIDI toilet has a samurai helmet attached to him. After beheading the cameraman, the SKIBIDI toilet turns to us. And this is the same scene from the leak, but as you can see, there is a slight difference between the video and the leak. In the leaked image, there was a small box with a red light on it, which looked like a bomb of some sort, but in the video, it does not exist. I don't know if it's because Dafuk decided to change how the episode was going to progress, or it was a rendering mistake because one of the reasons this episode was delayed was because of rendering problems. Either way, I really don't think that one small bomb would have changed much. After this part of the episode, the actual juicy stuff begins, so make sure to watch until the end to not miss anything. Right when the samurai SKIBIDI toilet is rushing towards us, he gets stunned by the cameraman's stun guns, and we look behind at the person who stunned him, but we are greeted with a surprise new reveal. For the first time, we get to see the new Red Assassin Speakerman. Some people want to call him the Assassin Speakerman, and some people want to call him the Dark Speakerman. Let me know in the comments what you guys prefer. For this episode, I'll go with the name Red Assassin Speakerman, but Dark Speakerman does sound cooler if I'm honest. Actually, we've seen a Speakerman with the same suit in the same episode where the Speakerman were revealed for the first time, which is episode 24. We saw a Speakerman with the same red suit Fortnite dancing, but there were a few differences like his personality, his weapons, and his speaker color. We can't be sure on if they are the same Speakerman, but I just wanted to let you guys know. Anyways, we see him holding two knives, and even the cameraman next to him is trying to comprehend what's going on. Also, before we continue on with the Red Assassin SPEAKERMAN, if you look at the ground, there are some broken, very high-tech pieces. I don't know what they belong to, but honestly speaking, it seems like someone killed a strong opponent right before all these happened. Right after we are introduced to the new SPEAKERMAN, he uses his jetpacks to fly onto the stunned samurai SKIBIDI toilet and stabs him with his two knives, killing him for good without breaking his composure even for a single second. He looks at us with what looks like a disappointed face because when the POV cameraman reaches out for help to get up, he shakes his head, basically saying no to us. And if you look closely, you can see that the POV cameraman is actually very scared because his hand is literally shaking. But after the Red Assassin SPEAKERMAN says no, we decide to get up without the help. And the second we get up, we see a military vehicle going to the gate with cameraman on top of it. If you look closely, there are 3 cameramen in front, and their positions are exactly the same as the cameraman logo we saw in the cameraman base in episode 49. This might be a coincidental reference, but as we all know by now, Dafuk tries to make everything perfect and thinks about every single detail. But their journey doesn't last long because of what's about to happen. Right after they leave the gate, suddenly the mutant SKIBIDI toilet appears, and it seems like he was upgraded quite heavily after episode 62 because when we saw him at the end of episode 62, he didn't have his jetpacks, and we can also see a weird black thing on his back which is most like his flush, and it really is exposed to the outside. It better have some protection, brah. After smashing into the military vehicle, he picks it up as if it's some candy a 5-year-old dropped on the ground and throws it away, causing an explosion. Maybe originally, instead of this explosion, the explosive-looking box we saw in the first leak was supposed to make the explosion, but we probably will never learn if that was the case anyways. Right after we can clearly see that the vibes change from serious to super serious with the mutant SKIBIDI toilet standing menacingly, but he is not aware of the new existence who is standing right before him, is what I would have said normally, but what happened right after probably shocked every fan of the series. After a few seconds of waiting, suddenly the helicopter SKIBIDI toilets gets killed with a small glimpse of a lightning flash. At that moment, I knew that it had the same speed sound as the glitch SKIBIDI toilet. We see the mutant SKIBIDI toilet very confused. At first he makes the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson sus face looking behind him to see what's going on, and he is extremely confused as to what's going on as we are. Suddenly he starts getting attacked left and right at extreme speeds, causing him to lose his headphones, and if you look closely after every attack we can see a plunger sticking to his face, revealing the comeback of the legendary plunger cameraman. He is so fast that even if we slow down the video we can't get a glimpse of him. And after attacking a lot of times in a matter of seconds, we finally get the reveal of his new looks. We can see that he is using the glitch toilets, insanely fast toilet as a mech for himself. As I mentioned in my previous theories about Plunger Cameraman after what happened in episode 57 part 2, I always said that the glitch toilet that was captured by Mech Cameraman was going to be used to fix and upgrade Plunger Cameraman, and it seems like I was totally right. I thought he'd get an upgraded body instead of using it as a mech, but we'll get to that later in the video. It seems like the glitch toilet's toilet was upgraded in a way to store plungers, and it also has more stuff included on it. And I'll mention all those when we get to the part where we can see it more clearly. Right after the reveal, we see the upgraded Plunger Cameraman charging up the glitch toilet mech to attack the mutant SKIBIDI toilet with full power, and he rams onto the mutant toilet at full speed, causing a huge explosion, almost killing the mutant toilet. After the explosion, while we see upgraded Plunger Cameraman coming down from the sky, we can also see the secret agent in the background watching Plunger Cameraman's come back. As we know by now, he is clearly watching the progress of Plunger Cameraman. The reasons are unknown, but my guess is that he is curious as to how and why a normal cameraman surpassed his own limits and became an actual legend. We can surely say that he is there for the Plunger Cameraman and not the Red Assassin SPEAKERMAN, because as you can see, he wasn't there when we first saw the Red Assassin SPEAKERMAN. After the upgraded Plunger Cameraman comes down, we finally get to see his new glitch toilet mech closely. From the looks of it, he controls it with putting his hands on these two gauntlet looking like controllers. We can also see 4 arm-looking blades or something similar to that which is probably used to stab enemies while going full speed. This actually might be the best feature on this toilet other than the speed, because combined with the speed, it's going to deal some insane damage to the SKIBIDI toilets. We also see a new plunger system where he can probably use almost near infinite ammo because it doesn't seem like he loses plungers when he shoots them. And with this, he can both have melee capabilities and long-range attacks. He also has a weird X on the backside, but I really don't know what that's for. Maybe for protection or aerodynamics. I have no idea. It looks like the red assassin SPEAKERMAN is unbothered by the glitched toilet mech, but the cameraman on the right side pops up on the screen surprised, checking out the new tech. The camera suddenly pans to the left side, and we can see a normal cameraman laughing at plunger cameraman, probably because he is in a SKIBIDI toilet, but he gets shot with a plunger, making him the goofier looking one. And he looks as if he is saying bruh to plunger cameraman. The camera pans back to plunger cameraman right after, and we are surprised once again seeing plunger cameraman getting out of the glitched toilet mech standing on both his feet. As you might remember, this dude lost half his body in episode 57, part 1, but it seems like he was given some fresh legs. We have no idea if they have any special capabilities or not, but we'll probably see them in action soon. Also, if you look closely, his jetpack has changed. We can't really see it, but the thing on his back is clearly not the same jetpack he had before. Maybe it's some sort of mechanism to get him into the glitched toilet mech. We'll most likely learn about it in the upcoming episodes. Also, I said that the toilet doesn't lose any plungers, but while the plunger cameraman is getting out of the toilet, we can see that the plunger he shot at the cameraman wasn't reloaded, and it's not on the toilet anymore. Also, right after he gets out, he flips off the cameraman that laughs at him. I guess getting saved by TV Woman gave him some extra confidence and made him an actual alpha male. And he switches the middle finger to a thumbs up right after POV cameraman thumbs him up for saving them. But sadly, the mutant toilet wasn't killed, and he slowly gets up even though it's clear that he was damaged heavily because we can see that he doesn't have his eyes anymore and he is all bloody. A large SPEAKERMAN approaches the mutant toilet slowly and uses his speakers right on his face. With mutant toilet's eyes being gone, this probably hurt more than it should because him losing his eyesight probably enhanced his hearing capabilities. This causes him to get stunned for a few seconds where the large SPEAKERMAN stabs him on his forehead. This large SPEAKERMAN came in clutch because look at him. His arm is cut off. He was stabbed in the heart and he is still standing. What a Chad. Seconds later, the nuker plane toilet shows up nuking the whole town from far away, which probably concerns the cameramen and SPEAKERMAN that are on the ground, but with their extreme plot armor, the nuker plane toilet suddenly gets blown up by the goddamn Titans. We see the Titans and a fleet of camera helicopters marching on. They are most likely trying to catch on with G-Man and scientist SKIBIDI toilet to fight them, and if you check the description of the video, it says that it's about to go down. This probably indicates that the fight between the two duos is very near. We are most likely going to see G-Man, scientist, toilet versus Titan cameraman, and Titan SPEAKERMAN in the next couple episodes. Also, in the part where the camera helicopters are marching, we can see two little Easter eggs. One being the Polaroid camera being back, which we first saw in episode 11 in the beginning. And also the speaker plane is back as well, which we just saw in episode 61. This leads me to believe that the Titans have included the speaker woman in the fleet, and a huge fight is about to go down before episode 70. Hopefully the upcoming episodes can reach up to the hype and are long episodes just like this.